Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today I have some special guests with us. There are some great content horror creators who do reviews, they do skits, they do short films, they do a little bit of everything. And you can find some of their work on YouTube, and it's called Sinister Cupcakes. I have with us first my man, Scarecrow. Scarecrow, welcome to the Horror Room.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. And secondly, I have Dwalia. Dwalia,
Hi.
did I say it right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Hi,
All right.
Travis. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Listen, I'm a huge fan of your YouTube channel. I love a great horror YouTube channel. Tell my viewers a little bit about Sinister Cupcakes.
Okay, so Sinister Copies is a horror community. We started around 2020 as a project for. At the time, I was studying digital marketing, and they asked me for some sort of project to develop during the course. And I wasn't really sure in what to do. And with some conversation that I had with my sister about like another horror channel, she was saying, "It's like you guys could do this. It's like you are watching movies all the time. You're telling me about it, so it's definitely something that you could guys do." And I started talking with the Scarecrow, and we pretty much concentrate our life or like even our relationship into going to watch horror movies for our dates and to go to conventions and to do this and that, and it was just like all centered into the horror genre. So we were like, why don't we give it a shot? And we started doing it as a project for school and also for just for fun. And it just started developing several different things, mainly with the horror reviews, and then doing like the shorts with the clowns and just different stuff from there. And yeah, that's kind of like in a nutshell.
Yep.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, because I've been doing a horror YouTube channel for 2 years right now, and it's pretty tough. I mean, it's tough to get that viewership because there's so much horror content out there.
Yeah.
But like you guys do a great job. You do a little bit of something I do, which is you mix it up. I like to do horror convention walkthroughs, and I also like to do reviews and of course interviews. So I mean, how do you guys come up with different ideas for different videos?
Honestly, it's just, I think it's just literally like Dualia said, we were already doing all of this stuff, so it was just, now it's just whenever we see something weird, whenever we're doing something weird, which is, all the time, we're just like, we just incorporate that into our videos. If we see something creepy on the side of the road, we film it. If we, get an idea in our head about what a creepy little scene that we could do, we film that out. Particularly when we came up with the idea of our clowns, and who kind of represent our brand now, we just kind of started centering a lot of things around them and just being like, what our first set of clown videos were like, what would it be like for a clown to just be at home, like just like doing stuff around the house, like what would that be, and so just like it's all of our things kind of have a little bit of tongue-in-cheek like that, like very cheeky horror, like kind of we like the brutal stuff, obviously. So so basically that's where we get our ideas. It's just from our everyday life. We have seen so many horror movies, and we've been to so many conventions and seen so many things that we just use that to our advantage.
Yeah, sometimes our ideas that pop up into our minds, but mainly it just happens. It's just like our daily lives and like what we do, where we go, and like who are we seeing, and it just like happened to we just happen to combine it into one thing that it's Sinister Cupcakes.
Love it. Now I do movie reviews as well. And sometimes I give a movie a horrible review, and then I look at other people's opinions of the movie, and they love it. Have you ever had an instance like that where you just despise the movie and you see that, whoa, this is a movie that everyone else likes? Should I rewatch this again, or what were they seeing?
See, actually, we just start putting reviews in our website. We're doing like blog posts once a week, and just last week we went to watch this movie, The Woman in the Jar, and I personally, like, I did feel that they gave way too much on the trailer, but then the ending of the movie was as abstract and with a lot of metaphors, and I personally like it. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do a review about this. Then I go, and it's actually the opposite. a lot of people didn't like it and didn't like the ending, which was my favorite part. So I'm just like, I'm missing something out of here. It's like, and the same question pop up into my head, like, should I rewatch it? It's just like, what is happening for me that there's not happening for the rest of them? And there's always gonna be some sort of like thing that I identify as beautiful that maybe other people won't, or vice versa. It's just like I was watching your videos the other day and seeing how a lot of people are not fans of the Halloween movies, and I was just like,
Yes.
and I'm part of those too, and I'm just like, there's like something in those movies that I still cannot catch, unfortunately, and so it's just like, but honestly, I feel that that's where like um, the good part of horror comes. That is just like it's not gonna be the same for one person. It's never the same for him and I either. Like sometimes we disagree with a bunch of movies as well, and that's where the beauty comes.
And one of by the way, the Woman in the Yard, I actually enjoyed that movie as well. I thought the ending was a little too dark for me.
It was very dark.
It's a dark fucking ending. No spoiler, but a lot of people don't like that movie. I'm like, I don't think it was the greatest horror movie, but I don't think it was as bad as people are saying.
No, it
No.
wasn't that bad.
No, we were saying that too, that like they did so much with like, one house, and that was like that was the only thing they had to work with, It was like, I mean, yeah, they had the flashbacks, I guess, in the car and whatever, but like it was mainly just around that house and with only those actors, and they killed it. I feel like they really did a good job, Yeah, it was a slow burner. There was definitely like it took a while to really get going, and again, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we sat after we saw the ending, we were sitting there just being like, oh my god, like this is amazing. Like you said, it's fucked up, the stuff that they showed, because not a lot of movies are willing to go there, and I just like had to applaud that they had they were able to. So I loved it. I loved it for that.
So it was definitely one instance I was like, oh, okay, they didn't go there. Oh shit, they did go there.
Yeah.
One of those dark feelings. Now, one movie I saw that you guys reviewed, and this is a movie that I've been bashing probably since I had my channel, and that's it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one that came on Netflix.
Yeah.
So, and I 100% agree with you. Was anybody asking for that?
No.
Nope.
The age and the timeline, because this should have been an 80-year-old. I agree. This should have been an 80 senior citizen-year-old Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That movie just made absolutely no sense.
Oh my god.
We agree in that one that we didn't like it at all. It kind of went for us that we start watching absolutely every single movie of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and from like I really love the first one. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the second one as a dark comedy. After that, the other ones were like, man, it's like it comes. But that one specifically, I was just like, that's completely unnecessary. That could have been another movie and told something different. And it was like, maybe they have one or two scenes that I will remember, but besides that, it's just like, why they even do this? I don't know. I didn't really like it.
And that's the thing, like she said something really interesting, is I feel like there are so many of these movies that come out that I feel like, maybe it's not the case, but I feel like they've almost written this entire movie and they're like, oh, like this will be great. And they're like, what if we make it a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie and we just throw Leatherface in there and we cash in all this fame and notoriety and everything. And they're just like, oh my God, that'll make so much more money, because like you said, it doesn't make sense. It was like, it could have been a completely random other killer. It could have been something new, but they decided to just buy into that. There was another movie that we saw recently where we were saying the same thing. It was like, and again, I feel like that comes up a lot, in my opinion, in horror movies, where it just feels like it's almost unnecessary that they're like building on this franchise when they should just be making something new. And it just like they like add in this super famous killer at like the very end and don't really pay attention to any of their lore or anything like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's a shame sometimes.
I agree, because I mean, I asked a question like, what is one franchise that you was wish would stop making movies? And my answer has always been Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm glad you guys seen all of the movies. So have I. And number one and number two are number one is a masterpiece. Number two, I love number two. Then you start getting into part three, which is Leatherface, and then you start getting into the one where Leatherface is a boy in a mental hospital. You start getting all those storylines, and none of them even tie together at all, like absolute at all. And I'm like, who in the hell's they're making a new one, by the way. It's coming out.
Oh my god!
Year. So I'm like, who the hell's asking for more Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? And I agree with you. It's probably something else, and they just tacked on Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the end.
Yep. And like I said, I feel like if you're gonna make a new thing, if you're gonna make a new installment in the franchise, like at least honor the franchise. Like if you're just like, it seems like every remake or every reboot or even sequel that comes out now, it's like none of the other movies even happened, and it's just like, and I get it from like, but literally like in like in chronological order or whatever, this is like what, the third time that they've done Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, right? Because it's like they did the second one, which was supposed to take place right after that one, and then there was like, I can't remember which one it was, but there was another one that was which one was it? It was one of the recent ones.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D.
That one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, which I saw in the theaters.
And all that.
Yeah,
$20.
Yeah, it's like, even with that one, it was like, for the second time, they're like, we're just gonna disregard everything that all the fans have known and seen, and we're just gonna start fresh. And then again, that one was exactly that. Just forget everything and let's do it again. And it's just like I feel like the people want those storylines that didn't get finished, the threads that are still there to just be addressed or whatever, but they never do. They're just, they just scrap it.
I agree. And I'm going to tell you something too about the movie that really pissed me off. So that movie, The Baby, which just took place in 1979. So The Baby is Leatherface's sister. Fast forward to, I believe that movie was released in 2016. How in the fuck is she definitely in her 20s and she was a baby in 1979? It made no sense.
It doesn't.
And that just takes you completely out of the movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the franchises I never understood. All right. So listen, guys, I've never done this on my show before. I'm going to try something new. I am going to name 6 horror movies, random horror movies.
Okay.
And you're going to either tell me to pass or go. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you're going to tell me, no, skip or like. Which one of these movies you like? Skip or like? You're going to skip one, you're going to like one. All right. First one is Leprechaun Part 2. Leprechaun Part 2.
That's a personal favorite. I love Leprechaun. So we're going on that one.
I like it. I personally found it very funny, and I love everything that is horror comedy, and he's a hilarious character. It's a like too.
I do like Leprechaun 2. That's my favorite in the series. Most people like it. Yes.
It's awesome. Right, I love that whole franchise too. Sorry.
I love the franchise. Even the bad ones.
Especially like Space.
Yes.
Oh man.
And the Hood was amazing too. I love it. The first one was good. All right. So next one is Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I've never seen it. I'll have to skip it, I guess. Unfortunately, that's one of the ones I haven't gotten to yet. I've seen a lot of them, but not that one.
That was gonna be exactly the same as work. It's just I haven't watched it. Unfortunately, yeah. I think I haven't watched anything from Friday the 13th. It's like
we watched the first one together.
Did we watch it together? Oh yes, we watched the first one, but that's as much as I remember. That it's like I not much of a slasher person, so yeah, so that would be a skip for me.
See, I would say go with that, but 99.9% of people will say skip. And the only reason I like that one so much, and it is a bad movie, is because it was the first movie that I saw in a movie theater was Jason Go to Hell. So it's a sentimental value. Go see a horror movie on a big screen for the first time. It was amazing. I haven't rewatched it since I saw it in the theater, so I don't know if it was a theater experience or what, but I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Movie.
what was the yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, what was the first horror movie you saw in theaters?
The first one I saw in theaters, I'm really trying to remember. I don't know why it's. I don't know. Horror. I must have watched like a few of them, like, but honestly, it's kind of like I wasn't really going to watch horror to the theaters until maybe a little bit until 2017. That Get Out came, and that movie completely changed my life. It's just like it got me into horror like way deeper. It's just that that's exactly the movie that I needed for my life. So I don't have anything that I remember. Like I must have seen something when I was younger, but like for sentimental value, it's that one. It's just that I watched it completely from beginning to end and enjoy absolutely every single moment. So
love Get Out. I saw it in the theaters too when it first came out.
oh,
I'm a spin off of that one. How about Us, the movie Us by Jordan Peele?
Oh, I love that too. I love everything that Jordan Peele has been doing. I am completely a big fan. I personally like it. There was a few things that honestly I have to rewatch to kind of like understand what was happening. But besides that, I feel that like I like Us, but I'm more a fan from Get Out and Nope. Those are like the top two for me.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree with you. I'm not a fan of Us. I like Jordan Peele movies, but I'm not an Us fan at all.
Yeah.
Understandable. What about you?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, I'm just curious now.
I agreed with her. Nope is probably my favorite just because it was such an interesting concept.
No, which one you saw? Like on movies?
Freddy versus Jason.
Oh.
That was the first movie I saw in the first horror movie I saw in theaters.
That's a good one.
It always has a special place in my heart.
All right, I'm going to shoot to another one. This is one that most people go one way or the other, and that is going to be Hereditary.
That's a like.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
That's a like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I like Midsummer more than I do Hereditary, and most people either like one or the other. So.
I like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I right now I'm being a little bit more of a fan of Ari Aster too. Midsummer is one of my top favorite movies. With Get Out and Midsummer, it's kind of like they're like on the same spot for me. Right now, I have a lot in my mind. There's something wrong about the Johnsons. That short, it's on YouTube. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's creepy.
Really?
It's disgusting. It's something that I needed to see as well. It's just like I'm not sure if you have watched it. If any whoever is watching us, please watch that. If you are able to stand like real horror, real and disturbing and disgusting horror.
And it's on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely check that out tonight. All right, we got two more. Next one is going to be Jaws.
I haven't watched that one.
And that's a crime because I will go for a big leap and say that is one of the definitive movies that got me into horror. I like more. I loved the movie, yes, but it was like my fear of sharks. I was so afraid of them, and I was so terrified of that movie. And then we went to Universal Studios, where they used to have the Jaws ride in Florida. I don't know if they still have it, but I was absolutely terrified to go on that ride. And my sister made me go, and I was literally like cowering in her lap while it was happening. And then when it was over, again, and I just like became obsessed with that movie and sharks, and like I watched all the Jaws movies. It was like one of the first movies I had on VHS. I had like the deluxe like 2 VHS one, and oh my god! So I have like two Jaws shirts. So it's like it's a big deal for me.
It was like the first. I don't know if it was that or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it was like the first like horror movie that people were like falling out of chairs in theaters and were like screaming.
Yep.
And
It
boy, I
changed
would
the
have loved
world.
to see it. Yeah, I would have loved to see it. I wasn't born, but I would love to see it back there and seeing
Right.
what it was like in the theater, seeing that movie.
Would have been epic. Oh my god.
Okay, here's another one. This is a series. What do you guys think about the Terrifier series?
I love them. I love clowns. He is,
Obviously, we do.
yeah, we love clowns. Art the Clown, it's brutal. It's terrifying. There has been sometimes that I'm watching a movie and I'm just like, oh, do you know what it would be like brutal if happened like right now? This. And when we were watching, I believe is the second one, or I think it was the second one, that they were like all singing on the clown cafe and all this. And I'm just like, do you know what it will be like really dramatic? That he starts shooting everybody. And then he does. And I'm like, oh my god, I love this. It's just like this guy is just, and
Oh.
it's
Oh, there we go. Okay.
yeah. So they don't really have many boundaries, and
Yes, not at all.
I know. So I really love that.
And yeah, I love it too. We I will admit, like I saw him everywhere before I watched the movie, and
Me too.
I just like was like we were still doing Sinister Cupcakes and stuff, and I just was like this clown is just everywhere. Everybody's talking about him, and I was like I gotta see who this guy is. So we went and we watched the first one. Like we started to. I was like, we gotta watch the short or the first one, and then we found out that they're like kind of this almost the same thing. But so we started with the first full length movie, and we were just like, holy crap! Like I can't believe we haven't watched this before. We then did we see them after they made the second movie?
Yes, because we love to go to the biggest horror convention that there is here in Ontario, Niagara Falls. It's Frimer in the Falls, and that's like our year's trip, the one that we're like looking forward the most. And we saw that actually Damien Leon and
David Howard
Thornton we're gonna be showing up there. So we have the pleasure to go take a picture with them, and then he was dressed as Art the Clown and was in character the whole time. It's like even when they were like applying makeup to him, it's like he was just still being like the clown and not getting out of that, and just not talking and being just like weird and clumsy. It was fantastic. It was a really good experience. But yeah, I believe that it was after after the second movie.
So yeah, so after the second one, we had gone down there and they were doing their rounds, and we got to see them. It was awesome, and he is such a sweetheart. Otherwise, like we ended up after we saw them in costume, him in costume and everything, and we were actually only supposed to see David Howard Thornton in costume, but before we did the photos, they were like, "Oh well, the director Damien Leone, I don't know."
I think
they were like, he stuck around from before, and he would like, if you guys want, he'll stay in the picture with you guys too. And we were like, hell yeah! So and then after that, we walked like the next day at the festival. We were walking by a table, and we saw David Howard Thornton there, and he was unoccupied at the moment. So we walked over, and we were just like, oh my god, like we just had to say, like, you are amazing. We had such an amazing time with you yesterday. And he was just like, again, just a sweetheart, absolute sweetheart. And so he's an incredible actor. Like and I saw that he's like, studied some of the greats of like pantomime and stuff like that. So he is a master of his craft.
Yeah, I agree. I love Art the Clown is an amazing villain. And David actually is a subscriber to the show, so he might actually
That's awesome. Oh my god.
And yeah, I love the clown. Before I even seen the first movie, I just saw them at every horror convention that I went to, like in this country, and they were just there. They were just there. And then finally, I was like, "Who the hell is this creepy clown?" And I did the same thing and watched the first movie.
Mm-hmm. And we also were able to go see the third one in theaters around Christmas time. Or no, not Christmas. Was it around Christmas?
Yeah,
time?
it was around Christmas.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So we were able to do that because they were showing it in our local theater as well. So we had the pleasure of seeing that on the big screen.
We heard that a lot of churches were complaining about it, so we were like, okay, this is a good one. We went and watched it, and yeah.
First time you've heard that in a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. All right. So listen, where can everyone find you guys?
So we have a website, SinisterCupcakes.com. We also can be found on YouTube as Sinister Cupcakes, on Facebook as Sinister Cupcakes, and Instagram as Sinister Cupcakes. And the only one that is different is our Twitter.
TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Also a TikTok.
Which is sinister.cupcakes. Somebody stole Sinister Cupcakes.
Yeah. But also in Twitter, someone installed Sinister Cupcakes, so we are Sinister Cupcakes. But the rest Sinister Cupcakes. Just go to our website and all our information is there.
Yeah. We're linked to everything on all of our profiles. And we also have, like, if you go on our website, we have all sorts of stuff. Again, links to all of our sites. We've got a blog on there that we do weekly articles, links to our videos. We do. We have a shop, so we sell all sorts of little horror-related items and stuff like that. So you can check all that on there as well. So we welcome it all. So we look forward to seeing everybody.
Awesome, and I'm having links down in the description. So definitely click, subscribe, follow, and shop with the crew at Sinister Cupcakes. By the way, listen, put it in the comments too. I'm gonna have the Sinister Cupcake crew review a random ass horror movie. Just pick a random ass horror movie, and we're gonna have them review it on the Horror Realm. So look forward to that. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and that's the crew over at Sinister Cupcakes. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for having us, Travis.